Okay, so my phone is being a jerk. I am losing my patience from trying to take this video a million times now. But I really want to take the video, so I'm just going to kind of keep going. Hopefully this one will turn up. If not, I'm wasting my breath speaking right now. Okay, so I went to South Dakota today, to Rapid City, to go to Books A Million, because I love bookstores. I've loved them since I was a kid. It was always my favorite place to go was Borders, and then after Borders, Barnes and Noble, since Borders shut down, in California. And moving here, the one thing that was going to be my shining star when I really didn't want to come here, but we had to, was that there was a bookstore here. And then when I got here, I find out that the bookstore closed down months ago. I was so devastated and frustrated because it was like my piece of California. So going to Rapid City is a long ways to go for a bookstore, but apparently what we gotta do. They don't have one at all here anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and start with these two books. These two are not from Books A Million, or maybe they were originally, I don't know. I doubt this one was. But these were from the retirement home I volunteer at and my mom works at. I was allowed to pick a few because they've gotten so many donations and they don't have enough space. So pick some and go. I don't really understand what this is about, but it seems to be about nature, so I thought it might be interesting. It says there have been anthologies of nature writing before, but the most delightful book in the field couldn't exist until Joseph Wood Crutch turned his wise and witty imagination to the problem. This superbly handsome volume is the result of his intense interest in the world of nature over a period of many years, both at first hand and in the writings of other men. His most recent book, The 12 Seasons, is an urbane and civilized personal report on the subject. Now he follows it with an anthology that ranges. Ranges, I guess that's the end of the sentence. Oh, continued on back flap. There's nothing on the back flap. Maybe on the back of the book? That's not very helpful. Ah. Okay. All right. Over the generous fields of American nature writing from Thoreau, I'm guessing it's French, I don't really, to William Beebe, from Samuel L. Clemens to Will Cuppy, from Antarctic penguins to Chicago spiders, by way of Gustav Eckstein's Seven Cats. Okay, this is above my head. I have no idea what I just said. Mr. Crutch's brilliant prologue and his comments on the selections he has made constitute an informal history of man's changing feeling for the natural world. He traces the evolution of the idea that nature is its own excuse for being, all the way from the theologians who felt that it was the function of all living creatures to be useful or edifying to man, to the contemporary idea that man is literally a part of nature and continuous with the rest. There is a great deal of pleasure to be had from this collection. A glance at the table of contents will show what promise it holds, and the hours and hours of rich reading these pages provide will prove it to be a diverse and fascinating volume. So yeah, I thought I might be interested in that. The other book I picked out from there was the What My Cat Has Taught Me About Life. And it's just really a cute idea. It just compares things our cats do and learn, our cats' attitudes and everything. See, a good attitude brings good fortune. And I'll go ahead and read this page. They're short little pages. Male cats are not normally endowed with mothering instinct. Neither are they happy for long in a humane society cell. But Gary, a large orange and white tabby, made the most of his temporary confinement at the local animal shelter. He turned his incarceration into an opportunity to nurture homeless kittens. Soon after Gary was donated to the shelter, the staff named him the babysitter. In his cell were a variety of breeds, sizes, and colors of cats and kittens. Several of the orphaned kittens tried unsuccessfully to entreat surrogate mothers, but the unwilling females refused their entreaties with the loud spits and rude swats. Gary noticed. One afternoon, my husband and I visited the Humane Society to adopt a new cat. We requested a nice male. The worker led us to Gary, who was propped in a corner with 5 kittens cuddled snugly against his white belly. The kittens blinked contentedly through slitted eyes. Gary appeared as gratified as a dotting mother. But, my husband corrected, we want a male. The staffer smiled. You said you wanted a nice male, sir. That cat's the nicest male you'll ever find. We call him the babysitter because he cares for those kittens like a responsible nanny. Periodically, he stands up and stretches and then relaxes again with his litter. After he arrived, all the kittens stopped crying. When unpredicted confinement suddenly restrict life, the attitude we assume can redeem or condemn us. Gary looked around him and chose to find meaning in his predicament. His positive attitude helped him focus where he was and challenged him to meet an obvious need. Gary's good attitude also won him a new home. Bob and I adopted Gary, the kitten sitter, that very day. And then a little cat tip. Neutering will cause male cats to become more placid since they are not driven to seek sexual partners. Their desire to fight diminishes and they become content with a smaller territory. And there's a pause for prayer. Dear Lord, when I need an attitude change, help me discover the opportunities in my misfortune. Amen. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. Romans 8:28. The tail end. We who lived in the concentration camps can remember the men who walked through the butts, comforting others, giving away their last piece of bread. They may have been few in number, but they offer sufficient proof that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of his freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any set of circumstances. Viktor E. Frankl. So I thought this would be a cool book. It's interesting to think of cats teaching us so much. It's written by someone named Nikki Anderson. Meditation for cat lovers, it says at the bottom. Let's see. I'm not sure if I mentioned these, but I got these for my sisters. If I did mention these, and I'm repeating myself, and I apologize. I think they'll all really like these. They're very sparkly, and I know Sophia and I think Claudia too both really love Frozen, especially Sophia, I remember very much. Plus Sophia loves wearing hair bows, but also I know the other girls sometimes wear bows, so I figure we'll get a whole set that's like this, and they can all share and wear them whenever they want, and